I appreciate you being here. Thank you. On this last day of November, I know you thought I forgot. No Tap November 2021. Never. This is the episode. Excuse that vato right there. I don't know if you can hear that. This is the last day of November, and I just had to fit it in. Not only because this is an annual event now. I believe this is year 3 of No Tap November, but also because I only made like one video this month, and I'm in trouble. You know, Christmas is coming up, and I messed up. This is the last video I'm able to squeeze in before the year of November passes us by. November is my favorite year, and a lot of people have been asking me leading up, hey, what's up with No Tap November? What's up with that? And I thought it was gonna be I thought it was not gonna happen because of the ways that I have to make them, like the full breakdowns and everything with all the editing. But I was like, you know what? What if I just do a live stream? And that'll be way quicker, way easier, way more doable. I don't want to miss a year. I look forward to No Tap November every single year. So I started preparing it, and I realized it was a ridiculous amount of work as well because of all the things that I had to screen record and all the photos and all that. So I was up all night, and I was working very hard on this. So now I hope that I don't mess it up because I don't really use OBS. I'm using this fancy thing right now so that I can show you photos and stuff like that. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. I hope all of you had a happy Thanksgiving, and if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a happy day of just eating a lot of food with people that you're sort of obligated to eat food around, if you don't want to call it Thanksgiving. I had a great time. I ate way too much, and I shared this photo on my Instagram because somebody shared it with me. I shared this photo that a family member sent to me from, you know, when I was a little chiquitín and everything. With the siblings, you know, and I thought it was a good, nice, warm-hearted moment, you know. I thought it was just something to share with you, something that I could we could just relate over, you know, share some memories. And some people started clowning, you know. We got jokesters in the MMA community, and I wonder if you know what I'm talking about already, but some people started sharing some jokes saying that maybe I was the first Hasbullah. Some people started clowning. Hey, yeah, Zach Hughes, you were one of them. Talking about Hasbullah's primo. People started cracking jokes, and it was like, hey, you know what? Hold up, I'm still figuring out how to use this thing. Hey, separated at birth or what? But hey, I'm not mad at that. I think it's an honor. I think it's an honor for Hasbullah to look like the Grandmaster. So I'm sure he's very honored right now, no matter where he's at. But there were some people clowning. I had to admit, it made me laugh. I was all full of turkey and ham and mashed potatoes, and I was laughing. I was over there laughing in front of everybody, and they were wondering what it was, and I was like, nothing, because I didn't want them to see this photo and agree. There were 12 individuals that made it into my rankings for No Tap November this year. There was 12 entries. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There was 12 people. And if you've never seen this before and you don't know what No Tap November is, a lot of people bring this up every year. I see in the comments, and I'm like, do you understand what No Tap November is? People will be like, what about this submission? What about that one? What about... And I'm like, No Tap November highlights the warriors that were in a submission and they refused to tap. There was no tap, hence No Tap November. So I'm not talking about this amazing submission that happened with 1 second left and the fool had to tap. No, I'm talking about the warriors that refused to tap, whether it was on the throat, whether it was on the arm, their leg, whatever. No Tap November highlights the warriors and the warrioresses of the UFC. I only have time for one promotion. That were in a crazy submission and they just went to sleep instead. They said, Chale, I'm gonna go out on my sleep. I don't know. I didn't have a good metaphor for that. But here we go with the first entry today. The first entry we have Tom Breeze. Tom Breeze was fighting Omari Akhmedov. And I try to make sure to do my best to get the audio off and flip stuff because I didn't want to get copyright. this is gonna be all over the place. There's gonna be some people that don't agree with this one, and they're gonna say that I should only have 11 people instead of 12. They're gonna say that it shouldn't count for Breeze, and you're gonna see why in a moment. But I had to put him in here because I don't think it's his fault. Watch this. So the ref had to pick up his arm like 4 or 5 times. So it's like, all right, hold on, let me try again. Nah, let me see. I think I saw a move. Nah, and then he waits for like 10 seconds, and he's like, hold on, let me try again. And then like the 5th time, he kind of goes like this, and then he taps. So I believe that he was already asleep. And then the ref gave him too many chances, and he woke back up. You know, like when someone gets knocked out on their feet, and then they hit the ground, and the ground wakes them back up. That's like what happened in this submission. So I don't hold it against Breeze. What's his name? Tom Breeze. I don't hold it against Breeze because he was already asleep. He had already gone out. And the funny thing is, like, you know how sometimes, I feel bad for that fool. You know how sometimes you have a bad dream and it's like the worst thing ever. And like, you wake up and you're like all relieved and you're happy that you're like actually in your house and you have your clothes on and everything. This fool woke up. This fool's having a bad dream that he's getting submitted in the UFC on live TV. And then he wakes up, he's like, oh snap, I am getting submitted. And then he has to tap out when he already went out like a warrior asleep. And it's not fair. So I hold it against the ref. I don't know who that ref was. I'd never seen that ref before. I don't know if any of you guys recognize him. He's probably like a prelim ref, because they have prelim fighters and prelim refs. There's some refs you never see in the main cars. Herb Dean's going to be there soon. But I put Tom Breeze in here because I think he deserved it. He had already went to sleep. He refused to tap. Even Paul Felder in the commentary, he has said like, hey, not to say that this fool did it on purpose or anything, but you know, there's suspicions. There's people hating. Paul Felder himself from the commentary booth is thinking that was foul play and that this fool was making it look like he was asleep. And people will say, why would anybody ever do that? Maybe they just want to make it onto my No Tap November list. I don't know. This is probably the most exposure Tom Breeze has ever gotten in his career. So either way, good luck to him. I celebrate Tom Breeze on this day in No Tap November. I know that he tapped. Technically, he tapped. But technically, he didn't tap first. And then he just felt like he had to, or else he might die. Because I don't know if it's safe to pass out 2 times in that close of a window. Our next entry is Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker with... he didn't go Mimi's, actually. He just almost got his arm tore off. Dan Hooker almost got his arm tore off by Makachev. Okay, I'm gonna hold on. I'll get back to it right now. The reason that a lot of people will disagree with this one as well, because some people are gonna be like, Dan Hooker shouldn't be on there. Tom Breeze shouldn't be on there. There should only be 10 entries this year, not 12. The reason that I put, like I said, Tom Breeze was because technically he tapped out, but technically he didn't because he fell asleep first, and that's the ref's fault. Also, people will say Dan Hooker shouldn't be on here because Dan Hooker, some people say it was a verbal tap because of the way that fool screamed. Unfortunately, I don't have the audio here because I couldn't figure out how to play clips with the audio intact. So I just moved on because I was already losing my mind. I was ripping the beanie out of my hair. I was having some trouble getting this together. I don't know if I'm ever going to use OBS again. It's not worth it. I don't care how fancy it looks. But I do have the footage. If you want to go watch the footage yourself on YouTube, by the way, UFC Fight Pass, what's up? I pay for my account every single month, and so many of the fights that I was trying to find on there, it says come back later, please refresh later, not available at this time. What am I paying for? More than half the footage that I got on here, I had to go rip it off of YouTube. What's up, UFC Fight Pass? I probably shouldn't say that on here because of the way that I'm using it, but anyway, Dan Hooker, a lot of people will say that it was a verbal tap because of the way he screamed. It was crazy. It was like he's like, hey, I played it smart. I didn't say tap. I just screamed, and I'm going to look mad at the ref because I want to look like a warrior, like I wanted to keep going. Or he really didn't mean to tap, and he was actually mad at the ref. Either way, congratulations for him for making my list this year. Another thing that I just read yesterday about Dan Hooker, he was so upset after that fight. He was so mad about it. That was the fight where Khabib brought Hasbullah. That's the fight where Khabib brought Hasbullah into the ring, and he was holding him. He was holding Hasbullah, And Dan Hooker was like, hey, if Hasbullah shakes my hand and then does that thing where he punches me, he said that he was gonna straight up chuck him. He was gonna grab him and just chuck him into the crowd. Hey, I would have loved to see that because I want to see Khabib take flight again. The Khabib United Airlines, but it was not in the cards. It was not meant to be. But Dan Hooker was very distraught after that. He was actually talking. I mean, how are you gonna try to sound hard talking about how you're gonna chuck Hasbullah into the crowd? Oh, also it's messing me up when I play the clips. Oh no! Wait a minute. So you can hear the commentators? No. I just botched my whole video. I messed up the whole video. I thought you couldn't even hear them. I tried to play it back earlier. I was doing a test run and I couldn't hear anything. This is all right. So I don't know what to do now. Hold up. What if I go Are you kidding me? Oh, this is beautiful. All right, hold up. I think I just figured something out. If I go well, I'm glad you guys told me that. Hey, I'm sad right now. Good thing is we're barely on the second one, but I'm very sad right now. Can you hear me talking right now though? Like, is the audio good right now? They sound demon possessed. What? They're that loud. All right, hold up. I'm gonna drop this one, and this one, and this one. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it makes me so mad I ruined this. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. So, all right. Tell me this. So I think my audio is good. I'm gonna play a clip again and tell me how it sounds. I'm gonna play Breeze again. Oh, look it! Hey, no one could have expected this. Oh, hold up. My phone's locked. Look at Sensei Seth! Wait, he's frozen. Oh, no. What am I doing? Instagram would like to find... Oh, what's up?
Here, I'm going to help you with the thing. Did you figure out the clips yet? Oh, there we go. I can see you now.
Are you driving, Sensei Seth?
No. I'm in the backseat.
You're a backseat driver? Okay, Sensei Seth, I had a lot of people. So look, I was very sad at the beginning of this video because let me turn it up so you guys can all hear our conversation. This is stuff that you don't get to see.
What's up, everybody?
I was very sad because I did a test run before I went live and I found that I couldn't hear any of my clips. I wanted them to hear DC and the other commentators and stuff like that. And I was like, whatever, I'll get over it. Maybe it's even better so I won't get flagged. But now I start streaming and I was already over it. I already decided, it's even better without the audio. Then I start streaming and everyone's like, hey, we can't hear you over the crazy loud footage. And I was like, what are you talking about? It doesn't have audio. And they're all saying that it's so loud, it sounds like demon possessed. And that not only that, when the footage is on, they can't even hear me. So then I was like, what's going on? I think I figured it out right now. On my interface right here, there's something that says mixer. And I think I could see every individual clip and just take it all the way to 0, and then the problem will be gone.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah, no, it sounded like you were, like, in a meme clip where it like, drowned you out, and so you're talking, like, all intense about all this information, and all you hear is, like, it was in slow motion, too, so it's just, and then it's just you, stone-faced.
Oh, man. So it was like that crazy distorted meme, like, we got him, boys. Oh, man.
All right, well, if you got it figured out, I'll let you go. I'm going to go back to not driving.
Oh, thank you so much, everybody. Give it up for Sensei Seth. Welcome him for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, bye. I don't know how to hang up Instagram calls. Oh, he hung it up for me. How was the quality of your call? I'll give it 5 stars. Just so it rates Sensei Seth high. Sensei Seth was not driving. By the way, he is known to be a backseat driver. All right, let me try this again. So if I play Breeze, I'm going to play Breeze real quick. Can you hear the commentators or can you just hear me? I did it. We did it, boys. We did it, boys. All right. Look it. I know you don't want to hear it anymore, but I'm going to take you through it one more time because just for my state of mind, all right? This is going to bother me. Drew Brees was my number 12, all right? Because a lot of people aren't going to agree with it because technically he tapped out. But technically he didn't tap out. Look it. The ref's tugging on his arm. Look it. It goes limp right there. The ref tries to pick it up. That fool's asleep. You should stop it. Pick it up again. That fool's asleep. He's just flopping like a fish. Pick it up again. It dropped. That fool's asleep. Look it. It's going in slow motion, but it's still dropping. And the ref's just staring at him right there. He's staring at a dead man. He's not doing anything. Then he's going to try it again. And it's going to fall again. Oh, there he taps. So he was clearly asleep. He clearly refused to tap. I didn't see the tap. There was no tap. I didn't feel the tap. I didn't hear the tap. And the ref just let it keep going. And then that fool woke back up. And then he had to tap. So technically he tapped, but technically he didn't tap first. That was all I had to say. Jennifer Ferocious. Oh my gosh. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot that does not own a pen. I'm an idiot that doesn't own a writing utensil. I got a crayon. I got a crayon right here. And I don't have paper that I could write on. I have paper that I could write on right here. Jennifer Ferocious. Thank you. Here's how I'm not going to forget it, all right? Here's how I'm not going to forget it. Because I'm not going to be able to leave my room without seeing it. All right? That's how I'm going to remember. Thank you, Jennifer Ferocious, for reminding me. Oh. See, look at David Capico says that fool fell asleep like 3 times. And the worst thing, look, I don't like repeating myself. I know you probably heard me say it through the meme audio earlier. I was saying that it was a little bit ironic because usually we're having bad dreams. And then like we're getting chased or something like that. You know, like that's crazy when you're running and you're having a dream and you have to run from someone and then all of a sudden your legs fall off, or like you're naked, or like you get to the store and you buy a bunch of stuff and then you don't have any money and then you have to put it all back, like weird stuff like that. And then you wake up and you're relieved because you're like, oh, I'm here, and none of that stuff happened. That fool actually woke up from a bad dream that he was getting submitted on live TV. And then he's like, oh, snap, I actually am getting submitted. And then he had to tap because I don't think it's very healthy to have to pass out that many times in a row without, I mean, Conor McGregor, no, that fool taps though. I don't know if he ever passed out. Never mind. I was going to say that fool knows what it's like back to back to back, but that fool always taps actually. And then the next one, I was going to be talking about Hooker. And I don't know if you heard any of that one. I was talking about how Hooker was always also on my list, Dan Hooker. And how a lot of people aren't going to count that one as well. How a lot of people aren't going to count that because they're going to say the only reason he didn't tap is because his arms were stuck behind him. He couldn't tap. And that fool didn't stomp his foot because that fool's got no rhythm. And then they're also going to say that maybe it was a verbal tap because of the war cry that he let out when he was screaming because he was twisting that arm. A lot of people might say that. And then you can see Dan Hooker at the end. You can see him looking at the ref all upset. Like, why'd you stop it? So some people could be like, maybe he was just acting. He let out that war cry and it was meant to be a verbal tap. Now he's playing it off like he didn't want it to be stopped. Maybe he was mad because it wasn't his intention to have it stopped. Either way, I didn't see the tap. And Dan Hooker is number 11. We have 12 entries today, like I mentioned earlier. I don't know if you just joined us. This is No Tap November. You thought I forgot, and I kind of did forget. So now I made it a live stream. And it's been kind of a disaster up to this point, but we're trying to get better. Next on the list is Jing Liang. Li Jing Liang. And this fool was fighting Hamza. Let me make this a little larger for you right there. And you can see he thought he had it all under control for a moment. You can see him looking at the ref. He gave him a double wink right here. Look at wink, wink. And he thought he was all good. He thought he had it under control. And now Hamza doesn't even want to make eye contact with the ref. He's going to turn him around right now. He's going to get him on the other side so that there can't be no kind of a communication. He's going to hide him. He's going to make that fool look right at Dana White because he wants that bonus. It's happening a little more dramatically than you might remember because I put it in slow motion. because I didn't want to get flagged by the UFC.
How's that, pal?
But yeah, look at this right here. Look at the confidence. Look at the confidence in his eyes. Here it is one more time. Jing Liang, ever so confident, winking at the ref. Look at the charisma, feeling as comfortable as can be. Most people in there with thumbs up behind them, they'd be like, hey, I'm just getting my money. I'm out of here. I'm tapping. This fool's like, I'm going to chill. I could do this all day. I have nowhere to go. All right, next on the list is Trevin Jones. Trevin Jones, everyone give him a hand. Trevin Jones. So this is actually one of the Mexican martial arts trademark moves right here that Trevin Jones employed. I don't know if you ever saw my video on how to escape any headlock. If you missed Flaco, you should watch that video. It's one of my favorite videos I think that we made, and it didn't get that many views. It was how to escape any headlock. And one of the things that you could do, I should have got a clip for this, you just basically play dead. Because if you get caught up in a headlock in the street and you play dead, you're either going to put so much weight down on your attacker that he's just going to let you go because you're going to get too heavy, or he's going to think, oh, he passed out. The fight's over. He's going to let you go. And you could just spring right back up so that you could get down. But it doesn't work quite the same when you're in the UFC, because as soon as the ref sees your body go limp like that, he's going to stop it. Unless you're Tom Breeze, apparently. But you know, either way, that was not the case for Jones, because that fool went down like a video game character, Stipe Muchacho style. He actually was asleep. That was not a tactic. All right, so right now, please forgive me. This is not as smooth as I would like it to be, but this is live. This is live, ladies and gentlemen. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. I'm trying to think of something crazy so that you can know that anything could happen. Look at, woo! We might start playing croquet. We might start playing croquet. You didn't know Grandmaster was fancy, huh? You didn't know. You thought I was out there playing. You thought I was out there shooting cap guns or what? You thought I was out there shooting caps? I'm playing croquet like a civilized citizen of the community. Anything could happen. Next, we got Sasha Palatnikov versus Ramiz Bramikhab. I don't know how to say that fool's name, but he's not important anyway. It's Sasha Palatnikov is the one that deserves our respect and our attention today. Sasha Palatnikov. Sasha Palatnikov. Hey, I love croquet. I don't know, like, I know I didn't take a lot of time on it, but I love croquet. I used to play that all the time. Like, we don't need to get into that. Marilena was tripping too, because I was destroying everybody. And she's like, you're making up the rules. And I was like, that's how you play the game. Because she had never played before. Back at her house, they're playing like Loteria or whatever. I was playing croquet. So right here we got Palatnikov. I don't really remember this, to be honest with you, what happened. Wait, why isn't it playing? All right, there we go. Palatnikov, he panics and he goes into the turtle position. He goes into the turtle position, and Brahmihaj is like, all right, fool, I'm just going to be the Shao then. I don't know what people think are going to come with the turtle position. That's just going to give that fool a more dominant position like this. The turtle never goes well. The turtle never goes the way you want it to. As JDS. As JDS. And you're not going to be able to stay in there very long. What? Look, I'm going to tell you the truth. It's my video, but some of these are kind of boring. But I had to name them. I went through every single UFC event this year, every single UFC event, and then I had to look through every single submission to find out which one was actually a tap and which one wasn't. And that fool just went to sleep right here. He's one of them. He's one of the warriors. He went into that turtle and it didn't last long. It's a misconception in the MMA community because that how turtles live like thousands of years. They do not have quite the same lifespan in MMA. Usually you go into the turtle and that allows your opponent to do exactly what he was wanting to do in the first place, and then you're done. So that's what happened to Palatnikov. So we're going to move on to the next one. And it is Laura Procopio. She was fighting Casey O'Neill. Laura, I don't know, Procopio. Some of these were hard to find. Because how I told you, I don't know if you heard earlier, but Fight Pass is tripping. I'm paying for that every month and it doesn't even let me see most of the footage. Do any of you guys have Fight Pass? ESPN does the same thing sometimes where it's like, can I show this right now? Try again later. Try to refresh. It's not available at this time. It's like, what am I paying for this for? Don't show the thumbnail if it's not available. But she went out like a savage. This is a short clip. I could only find a real short clip of it on YouTube. The strange thing was when the ref when the ref was trying to grab her off, she's like, don't touch me, don't touch me. And I don't know the purpose for doing that. I don't know if that's just trying to let the ref know that she was awake, and that was the only way that she could explain it to him. But like the split second later, she's already asleep and she's passing out. She doesn't want any help from the ref. She's trying to pull away, but then she pulls, boom, I'm asleep. That's crazy. Watch, look, he's gonna try to grab her and she's gonna tug on it. Watch, look, tug, I'm asleep. That's how the submissions are gonna go. You can't not tap and make the list, but then also stay awake, because then the fight wouldn't have ended and then we wouldn't have anything to talk about right here. All of these basically end in the full falling asleep unless it's someone's gonna break their arm. The next one we got is Sean Soriano against Christos Gallegos. Soriano against Christos Gallegos. And right here you got Soriano. And one of the things that I noted, like this was just a basic submission, but I noted that fool got the mouthpiece choked out of him. And I thought it was very interesting. I had never seen that happen before. I always see fools get their mouthpiece punched out of them, but this fool got it choked out of his mouth. And it was kind of funny. I just kept rewinding that part. Because you know how like when your leg falls asleep and you don't want to move it because it's going to start tickling like painfully bad, like the worst kind of tickle you ever found in your life and you can't handle it? Does that ever happen to you guys? I always do that because I always sit on my legs. Like when I'm editing and stuff, I always sit on my leg, and then like an hour later I move and I have to stay like this for like 10 minutes until my leg comes back to normal because it tickles so bad. That's what I felt like this fool was doing right here. Look how he's laying like that, because his whole body went to sleep. But I thought it was interesting at the end how his body was being completely still. He looked like one of those old-fashioned wrestlers. You know, they weren't the ones quite like this where you can move around. They're the ones that are just like gummies and they're stuck like that. He looked like he was just trying to keep his whole body still because it was asleep and it tickled too much. But he also looked like he's blasting away. Look, he's doing takeoff to the land of sleep right there. Look at his body. I feel kind of bad for him, but I mean, I gotta have some kind of comment to say about it. Next is Christian Aguilera. And that was against Carlston Harris. So there he is right there. He was going for the single leg. He was committed to it. He wasn't letting it go. And he put himself in the position where that fool was now going to choke him out. He didn't think ahead, and now he's stuck. And you look at his eyes right here. You can see the life go out of him. It's freaky. Look at his eyes. I'm going to try to make it bigger. Can I do it? What? My screen's freezing. Okay, you're just going to have to believe me. This is why I have a lot of respect for the MMA guru. I'm not a streamer. I'm not a streamer like this. I could stream on the YouTube and make it real easy, but I can't do this. Wait, MMA Guru doesn't use OBS either, huh? Maybe I shouldn't respect him. Alright, so after Aguilera, we got Bartosz Fabinski. Bartosz Fabinski. And what happened with this one? He's fighting the Jake Gyllenhaal of the UFC, Gerald Meerschaert. And Gerald Meerschaert kept him against a whole cage in this fight till he finally got him down. That fool knew exactly what he was doing. It was an early sub. I know it looks like round 3 the way you're looking at it because it's backwards, but it's actually round 1. Meerschaert had him against the cage the whole time. Then he just brought him right down. And look at, if you pay attention, that fool started twitching even before Meerschaert put the real squeeze on him. It was freaky. I wish I could make the thing larger right here. But you can see his hand right there. Look at, where was it at? It starts twitching crazy before he even gets around. Look at right there. He starts moving weird. He already looks like he's going out of it. And then he rolls it over. And then he puts the squeeze. And then Herb Dean's like, all right, it's time now. That's back when Herb Dean used to stop fights. That's a classic Herb Dean. Classic Herb Dean movement. Not classic in the way like it's typical of him, but like that was a long time ago because Herb Dean doesn't stop fights anymore. Sam Alvey. Sam Alvey is our next contribution. I don't know which word to use. Our next entry. So Sam Alvey, and this was a freaky one right here. Like Sam Alvey's just getting beat up. The ref could have stopped it right here if he wanted to. He was just getting teed off on. He was doing nothing significant defensively. And then like the moment that fool puts the squeeze in, and look at Sam Alvey didn't even try to fight it. Look, I won't rewind it because I don't want to miss this. Sam Alvey did something in this fight that I've never seen anybody do in my life. If you've seen it, please let me know. But Sam Alvey physically did not try to fight this choke. Sam Alvey is the first individual I've ever seen in my life that tried to fight a choke with a mean mug. Look at his face right here. He's straight up mean mugging the choke. Look at it. Look at what when it zooms. Oh, I need to figure out how to zoom this in. This is I'm trying not to get frustrated. I really wanted you to see his face right here. This is making me lose my mind. I can't understand what's happening right now. I can't understand what's happening right now. I was doing it so much earlier. I could see the dimensions right here. I could see the little squares. I don't know if you guys could see it on your end, but I could see the I can see the little squares asking if I want to adjust it, but it's not letting me adjust it. Alright, well, you gotta continue to trust me, alright? He's me mugging the choke, and it was like the funniest part of everything that I got today. And you can't even see it. Hey! Look, I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if you saw it. You could go back and look later. You could go look at it on ESPN Plus if it's actually working. On Fight Pass if it's actually working. You can find it on YouTube. But it was hilarious, alright? Sam Alvey was getting choked out. He was getting choked out, and instead of fighting the arm, instead of trying to get in there, or instead of biting that fool, he was straight up going like this. He was just looking at the choke. He's just straight up trying to intimidate the choke with his face. I've never seen that before in my life. He's trying to mean mug a rear naked choke. That's hilarious. It's hilarious. And if you get to go find it yourself on a bigger screen, I trust that you'll feel the same way. Man, Mike Rodriguez. Our next entry is Mike Rodriguez. And let's hope this video is big enough for you to see what's going on. Mike Rodriguez, that fool took the back. And it's funny because Mike Rodriguez, he looks up at the clock. He's trying to see how much time he has left. And he falls asleep looking at the clock. The irony. The irony. That fool straight up falls asleep looking at the clock. He's trying to find out how much he needs to hold on. And then he looks up. It's like when you're trying to make yourself fall asleep. And they tell you to... I don't think they say count sheep anymore, do they? I always hear people say, just look at the clock. Look at the clock. Because it gets so boring, you just end up falling asleep. That fool, he shouldn't have took that advice. Because you look at the clock and you fall asleep. The ironic thing also, you'll see right now when he wakes back up. After having sabotaged himself by looking at the clock and making himself fall asleep. Look at what happens. He's going to fall asleep. And then now it's night time, alright? That fool's taking a nap. And now look at... Now he's looking for the snooze. Now he gets back up. He's trying to... It's sad. It's sad to see. It's sad to see. That fool ended up falling asleep because he thought he was using a tactic to keep him awake longer. It makes him fall asleep. And now that fool's looking for the snooze. And our last one. This is our last one. We made it. We made it, ladies and gentlemen. Sergey Morozov. Sergey Morozov is our last entry. Sergey Morozov. And he got choked out to Khabib's cousin, Umar Nurmagomedov. This was Nurmagomedov's debut. And in the real footage, like the kind I was blasting earlier, you could hear Khabib shouting from the corner, very proud of him. And this probably wasn't a good entry to have last, because it's probably like the least eventful. But it is Khabib's cousin. It is Khabib's cousin. And I just had to be sure to show the proper respect. It is Khabib's cousin. So let's play that one more time in honor of the homie. In honor of the homie Khabib. That's his flesh and blood right there. Choking out Sergey Morozov. But we got to remember that we're celebrating Sergey here. So let's not get it twisted. Sergey Morozov, a savage. A savage for not tapping out to a Nurmagomedov. It takes a savage to do that. And I know you're thinking, well, Justin Gaethje did it. Nah, he only did it because... Herzog, that's his name. Because Herzog didn't see the tap. That fool straight up Chael Sonnen and Gaethje. Because he said that he didn't see it or whatever. I think he's the one that says that, right? Or is that Wolverine? Didn't they both say that? Anyway, that's the end of No Tap November 2021. It was the longest one and the worst one. If you want to see a good installment, a good example of what No Tap November should look like, I urge you to watch last year's. I was just watching it to get some inspiration, and it actually kind of made me sad because I was like, well, this one's not going to be that good. The first No Tap November I did the year before, that was garbage. I'm kind of embarrassed of it. My videos a long time ago were so much worse. But the one that I did last year, I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of it. If you want to see a No Tap November, you're like, I don't understand the concept. I don't get this. Why is he doing this? Go watch that one. I'm very proud of that one. I think it was a good effort. This one, well, I'm glad that we were all here and we were able to have a good live back and forth. That's what made this one good. And I just saw something come through right now. Oh, look it! Someone just requested me on Cameo. Thank you for watching Mexican Martial Arts. Appreciate it. Good looking out. Late. I don't know how to end an OBS stream. It says end stream.